So let's settle down. Come sit here. Sit in the front. Sit in the front. So before we start the meditation, my hope is that all of you have checked your cell phones and, if possible, switch them off or at least put them in a silent mode. Disconnecting from our electronics is such an important step in reconnecting to our inner self. So sit comfortably. Take a moment to center yourself, to bring yourself to here and now. You are in a safe place. In this safe space, you can experience the peace that you have been yearning for so long. So for a little bit, forget the outside world. Feel as if truly nothing exists beyond these walls. And also nothing exists beyond this moment. Forget the past, forget the future, forget everything that you have ever known, seen, or heard in this physical world. This disconnecting with the physical world is a very important step for you to reconnect to who you are. So truly, now that you have disconnected yourself from the external world, this is the moment for you to step inwards and see the moment you step inwards, you see a beautiful world, a world filled with peace that exists within you. A world where there is light. A world that's reverberating with God's energy. A space which is filled with pure consciousness. A space where you can be who you really are. A space where there is no illusion, no deceit, no falsehood, only truth and peace. So take this time to explore and relish the beauty of the space that you hold within you. And in this space, you can see who you really are. A tiny point of energy, infinitesimally small, yet infinite in capacity. You are the pure consciousness that fills your inner space. Remind yourself of the pure energy that you really are. That you are a child of God with infinite worth. Remind yourself that God truly loves you and cares about you. Remind yourself that God as your parent is always there to protect you. Remind yourself that you are being guided towards your purpose, towards truth in every moment of your life. In this space, you have nothing to worry about. In this space, as you hold the consciousness of who you truly are, you truly have nothing to fear about. You are eternal. You are immortal. You are indestructible. You are infinite. You are a pure consciousness. You are an image of God. God Himself has created you in His own image as a replica. See yourself vibrating in God's energy. In this moment, your frequency is resonating with God's energy. What can be more beautiful than that? What can be more elevated than that? See how much God loves you. See how much God cares for you. In this space, in your inner world, all this is so clear. Crystal clear. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Now, so I think I'll have to reduce the volume there. It still is working. I have the microphone. Yeah, let's see. It's okay. All right, good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. I guess I can decrease volume from here too. Am I still audible? No. No. is less. Do you know how to reduce that main? Just the red switch, turn it to the perfect. Did you reduce it too much? Am I audible till there? Okay. Yeah, I think that's perfect. No, a little less. Yeah, I think reduce just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Thank you. All right. So, what a lovely turnout. Huh? It's such a nice feeling to see all of you, children of God, lovely children of God, show up to this beautiful gathering. For those of you who have come here for the first time, special congratulations and a special welcome. For those who come here often, a special welcome and congratulations to you as well. And just a quick show of hands, who has come here for the first time? Yeah, you, right? So by now, but you were here just for a little bit earlier, right? So you know where the bathrooms are. Your bathrooms are the back, there's water here. At the end of the session, also just to let you know that we have a special celebration because today is the Mother's Day. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, so today is the Mother's Day meditation talk and celebration that we're going to have. So we'll have a special cake and special sweets and special little dinner that has been prepared with a lot of love and kindness and generosity and spiritual awareness, spiritual consciousness. That's the most important thing. Prepared by a lot of mothers. Actually, in the ideal world, it should be the brothers preparing for mothers. But so
you also prepared.
I prepared some, but maybe we should have given the time off to mothers and brothers. Maybe next year, if you are here, then the brothers
have to come all day.
Yeah, one day prior.
One day prior.
Yeah, then we'll prepare for mothers, so that mothers prepare food for everyone all the time. And I think at least one day they deserve rest, and we take over and just have them sit and relax and enjoy and be fed. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so on this special day, we're going to start off with a very special song that will be sung by a very special brother who has come from... You don't sing, right? I was thinking both of you can sing together.
No.
Okay.
You want audience to be there, right?
So, Brother Ram, he originally is from Boston, originally from India actually, from Maharashtra, but now he is in Atlanta because earlier he was in Boston, but there was a change in job, I guess, and so now for a limited time he is in Atlanta, which is great for us because then he could come here and sing for all of us. So to create that beautiful spiritual energy for all of us, he's going to sing a song. It will be in Hindi. For those of you who don't understand Hindi, but I'm sure you'll catch the spiritual energy because he sings with so much of love. All right, Brother Ram, welcome here.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So it's a special occasion again, and in my mother tongue they say that Swami Tini Jagasa Ai Vina Bhikari, means even God is a beggar if he don't have mother, it's like that. So this song is for sweet Baba because he is our mother and also our mothers. And as we started this session, brothers are also mother, right, where they sustain. So this song for everyone. Oh ma, oh ma, oh ma, oh ma, tu kitni achhi hai. तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ। माँ बच्चों की जान होती है, माँ बच्चों की जान होती है। वो होते हैं किस्मत वाले जिनकी माँ होती है। कितनी सुंदर है, कितनी प्यारी है, भोली भोली है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ। ओम शांति।
It's a beautiful song that said that, oh, my mother, you are so beautiful, you're so lovely. Those who have mothers, they are so fortunate. Oh, mother, you are so innocent. It's a lovely song. Thank you.
Just trying to get that right ready.
So everyone felt that energy? Those who don't know Hindi, did you feel the energy of mother? Love of mother. Mother's love don't need any language, right? It's beyond language. Vibrations.
So, on this occasion, I was thinking that we could discuss, and as usual, we can have this as a little bit of a conversation, punctuated with meditation as well. And I was thinking that for mothers, especially because mothers have such a wonderful role to play. If you go back into your own life, I'm sure sometimes mothers were clumsy in the way they probably took care of us. They many times didn't have very elaborate workbooks and manuals to read and go through and to see how they can raise you well, but they did the best they could with all their kindness and love and generosity and selflessness and sacrifices, from the moment that they started carrying us in their womb to the delivery to feeding us, to clothing us, to cleaning us, to caring for us.
Yeah. And when, as you say this, that mothers, they do so much for others, even this word mother, if you look, M and then others, made for others, right? This word signifies that mothers are really, they work so hard, they don't take care of, like, in that sense that they don't think about others, but they always think about others. They don't think about themselves, but they think about others, right? That selflessness is always there. That's the quality of a mother.
So shall we go around just kind of bringing up some of the qualities of mothers?
Sure.
So what do you think, apart from what I have said, shall we just have a few qualities thrown together here right now, like in a soup? You put all these ingredients. Shall we see? think they're disconnected, so let me, sorry.
Is comfortable temperature here? Or you're freezing or very warm?
Everybody's comfortable enough? All right. So yes, shall we go around? Everybody says one quality that you feel a mother has.
Love.
Love. Yes.
Nurturing.
Nurturing.
Unconditional.
Unconditional love.
Kindness.
Kindness.
Forgiving.
Forgiving. Giving.
Giving.
Yeah.
Compassion.
What's that?
Compassion.
Compassion. What did you- Patience. Compassion. Strength.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Keep going.
It's a long list.
Motivate.
Okay.
Motivate.
Listener.
Listen.
Creative. Teacher.
Guidance.
Bishop, there is one chair here for you.
Guidance and
Yeah.
teachers.
Yeah.
Model.
First one.
Adult.
I always see Michelle sitting in the front row, but today he is
Full house.
All right. Now you think of it, mother has these qualities, but how about seeing God as a mother? You see, we all hold a very beautiful relationship with God, believe it or not. Sometimes we get disconnected because of our active interest in so many different things in the world out there. The world out there is indeed very attractive, and in that we lose the connection with ourselves and therefore the connection with God. But now think of it, God is the energy, the ultimate energy that is always with us, always serves us, always helps us. But how do we create not just a connection, but a relationship with that supreme energy? So I was thinking, for especially there are some newcomers too, so we have shared this before, but I guess it's not a bad idea to go back into this whole concept of Raj Yoga, which means more than a connection.
So in Raj Yoga meditation, we learn how to not only connect with God, but how to cultivate that beautiful relationship with the Supreme. And this relationship we can have in many different ways. But today specifically we are talking about the relationship of mother, seeing God as our divine mother. I was thinking in the morning today that just like, in the womb, how this embryo, the newborn child who is going to be born, the embryo is connected to the mother through that umbilical cord. And all the nutrients that the child gets is through that cord, that connection. And if there is some problem with that connection, then the child inside will be deprived of the nutrients, right? Baby, the embryo will not receive anything. So that connection is so important for the baby, right? So similarly, we, the souls, we all are connected to that divine energy. And we also have that connection with the Supreme. And that cord is in the form of our thoughts. So in meditation, what we do, we use this cord of thoughts to connect with the divine energy. And unless we are connected to that energy through this cord, we won't be able to receive the required nutrients that the soul needs. Right? And if the nutrients are not supplied to the child, to the soul, then the soul will not be able to grow. So for proper growth and development of the soul, this cord is very important. So connection, definitely that connection is important, but at the same time, more than that is the relationship. And that relationship we cultivate when we kind of make more and more connection. A time comes when that connection kind of converts into relationship, a beautiful relationship.
Because sometimes connections can get disconnected, right?
Right, that's true.
But if we create a living relationship with that highest energy,
Yeah,
can we say that we are reservoirs of energy ourselves and we hold tremendous potential within us, but God is the ultimate reservoir of energy, and by connecting to that energy all the time with no disconnections, we can receive all the energy that we need to make ourselves unlimited too.
yeah, that's correct. That's why we say that God is the ocean, because He is the unlimited source of energy. All the qualities that you all were sharing for Mother, those qualities actually they come from that divine energy, that divine Mother. And it's so interesting that every mother here has a mother, but that divine mother does not have any mother. Isn't it interesting? Huh? Why? Because that divine mother has everything. That divine mother does not need any kind of sustenance, any kind of support, because that divine energy is always full, unlimited source.
She's the mother of all mothers,
Right.
the Supreme Mother.
Supreme Mother, Mother of all mothers, the ocean.
So in other words, if we create that bonding of love in with holding this relationship of mother and child, seeing God as the force, the energy that nurtures us, then we'll be constantly connected. There won't be any disconnections. And
Right.
so the charging of the inner battery.
Yeah, because see, if we see what we are getting from that divine energy, why we forget, why we are not able to make that relationship with the divine energy, because we forget, we don't remember what we are getting from that source. But the moment we remember that God is giving me everything, whatever I have with me, everything has been given to me by Him, by
As a
her,
gift.
as a gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing belongs to me. Everything has been given to me by that divine mother. So if I remember that, then that relationship, that loving relationship will naturally develop. That's why we say that yoga is actually, we say Raj Yoga. Yoga is a little tough word actually. But instead of that, this word yoga, the meaning of yoga for those who don't know, yoga means connection. But to make it even more simpler, we can say that yoga means remembrance. That means if I remember what I am getting from that divine mother, then it will be very easy for me to feel that love from that divine energy, because I'll be able to forge that relationship with that divine mother very easily. Just like physical, in physical relationship also, child knows that what the child is getting from the physical mother. So that love is natural. Child does not have to actually think about loving mother, right? That's natural. Similarly, if we think that that divine energy is giving me everything that I need, then automatically, naturally, that divine love will develop between me and that energy.
Yeah. Because even as we grow older, as a small child, of course, the child is so attached and connected to the mother. But even as we grow older, we still have a very deep connection with our mothers. Probably not as much with fathers, but mothers, say, we still hold on to that.
Yeah.
that
When they are scolded by father, then they run and then they go.
Hide behind the
Right?
mother.
Yeah. Mother always, kind of protects the child in a way, right?
pampers the child.
Yeah. Everyone has that experience, right?
So if I like that what you had said, and I thought I'll kind of reiterate that, so that it really becomes clear for everyone that if I can remember that this mother, physical mother, is giving me so much, and I have so much love and gratitude for the mother, if I truly understand that there is a mother of all mothers, the supreme mother, the highest mother, and truly everything, even what my mother got and my mother's mother got, my mother's mother got, was received by God. God is the ultimate source of all that is coming to us. Then that love will be created, that link will be created, that will create the flow of energy from God to us.
It is said that, God always remembers us. God never forgets us, but we forget Him. Because we forget what we are getting from Him. But He never forgets us. This is the difference between God and us. His energy is always there, but we are in our own world and we don't even think about God. You know what happens when we are in some kind of situation,
A difficult situation.
difficult situation, what happens? Do we really remember God in the first instance?
Good.
Who said yes?
Okay.
Those who are regular meditators, they are, yes, of course. When you meditate, then it becomes a habit. But if you think about it, if you, for example, if you are stuck, if you have some problem in your car and you are on the road, and then you think about maybe your husband or think about maybe AAA or right? I should call AAA or I should call my husband or whatever, right? And then when
But
nothing
the
works,
husband will start shouting.
That's
Is it-
true.
What did you do with the car?
right? But if you remember God at that moment, then that fear will also be not there.
God never shouts.
Yeah, He never shouts. His energy is so pure, so lovely, so sweet.
And if you, I am reminded of the story of Mahabharata, which all of you probably know, and for the ones from the Western culture, they wouldn't know. So I thought it's a good idea to share that. There was a time when, there's this epic, the greatest epic of the world, Mahabharata. And if you read that, it takes quite a while to read it. It's a beautiful epic, and in that there is a time when the good and the bad trick the good, and to a game of dice, right? And so they kind of change the way the dice plays and all that, and so the good keep losing, and eventually it's like a gamble type of thing, and so they begin to lose their kingdom in parts, and then the entire kingdom, their palace, their horses, their elephants, their servants, and then finally, so the way it is, the story is created is the five, the strongest human beings on the planet, but that is all metaphorical, that we have kind of five senses that work together in taking us to our maximum potential. And then there is this Draupadi is the wife of all these five brothers. And Draupadi is really the soul, you see, that signifies the soul. So anyways, the evil then say, why don't you play with your wife at stake? And so they are reluctant, but they play the next game of dice, and so they lose the wife too. And so then the bad want to bring the wife into the court and humiliate her and strip her. And so initially, so this is this big court where the most powerful human beings of the planet are sitting, you know, the best archers, the best swordsmen, and all of them, and most learned people. And so she calls out to them, see what is happening, stop this, can't you stop, can't you stop? And nobody is saying anything. Nobody has the strength to say anything, because truly, the husbands have lost her. So now the wife doesn't belong to the husbands. She belongs now to the evil. And so they can't do anything. And so nobody is helping her. And then she reaches out to her husbands, again, the most powerful human beings. And none of them really help. They can't. They're just sitting like this. And then finally she calls out to God, and as she's been stripped. And so then God comes and protects her. And so there's a joke that was created afterwards, that she then talks to God later and says, God, why did you not come earlier? Why did you let them humiliate me so much? And you should have come earlier. And God says, you didn't call me first. You called everybody at in the court. And so if you don't call me, how do I come? And you see, this is what happens to all of us, truly, that we kind of hope that people in the world, things in the world, the material world, the physical world that we are so familiar with is going to come to our rescue, but it doesn't. So our position in society, our possessions that we have, our relationships, our profession, our religion, and all these labels that we know of, we feel that will come to our rescue, right? Nothing comes to our rescue. And what really comes to our rescue is that supreme. So still that understanding needs to really go within, it's more than an intellectual thing, it's more of an experience, right? Because sometimes we still, after listening to this, we feel, we have to keep God as our first hotline with God, that's the most important thing. But we don't make it practical. We still are so stuck in this physical dimension of our existence. So,
Constant attention is important, and understanding, that's most important, that we call as the third eye, right? The third eye of wisdom. We tend to use our two eyes to see everything, whatever is there in this outside world. And the third eye is actually the third eye of understanding. We forget about that eye. And this is the reason why we forget Him. If that third eye is always open, then we will never forget Him. But that third eye is always shut. So in meditation, what we do, we remember God, because it is God who has come to give me that gift of the third eye. And I am not even ready to take that gift. So I need to extend my hand to take the gift. Right? I have to stretch my hands. Somebody is giving you a gift, but if you're not taking it, then you won't get it. So God comes and God gives us this gift of divine intellect, which we call as third eye. But we don't take it from Him.
even if we get it, sometimes we're careless about it and let it close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to keep it open, keep putting rose water in it, I guess. People put rose water in their eyes.
Right.
Put rose water in that. And what could be the rose water for this?
Yeah, so that rose water is the daily spiritual knowledge that we receive from that divine mother. Just like mother is everything for the child. Mother is actually considered to be the first teacher of the child. Mother teaches child everything. Right from the time when the child is born, child starts to learn from his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So God, mother, that divine mother, is not only our mother, but also a teacher. So we need to take in that spiritual knowledge on a regular basis. Then only we will be able to imbibe it in our day-to-day life. And that will help us to keep our third eye always open.
Yeah. So this now has become very clear in our hearts, right? Everybody, I hope that God as a mother. And I was thinking that.
And even before that, that first thing that we really need to understand is that I am a soul. That's the first teaching by that Divine Mother. That we all are souls. We have forgotten this. Why we have forgotten God? Because we have forgotten our own identity. We don't remember who we are. Because again, the same thing, we are using our two physical eyes to see ourselves as bodies. Because with these eyes, we can see our bodies and we think that we are this. No, but really speaking, we are not what we see, but we are what we don't see. And for that, we need to use that third eye. The third eye is not visible, but that's the most important eye.
To
That
be
we
able
need
to see inside.
Yeah,
Inside. That's why they call it insight.
yeah, insight.
See inside. Yeah.
So God gives us that divine insight in the form of this knowledge that we are souls. And the soul is light. So the light, might, and divine insight. That's what we receive from God. God tells us that we are lights, the points of lights, the soul.
That's
And-
indestructible, that's eternal, that's immortal, that never dies, that is pure consciousness.
Right. And many of these things we already know, that the soul is eternal, imperishable, indestructible. We all know this. But do we really practice it? We don't practice it. And this is the reason why we don't feel that energy. And when we don't feel that energy, then we are not able to feel God's energy as well. We are not able to make that connection and then relationship as well. So the first and foremost that we need to understand and practice is that I, the soul, am that point of light. That is not visible. But I am that light. I am that light energy that drives this physical body. Whatever is happening to this body is all because of that spiritual energy that I am. So I need to be aware of that. So this battery is discharged. Our battery also gets discharged because we forget.
So I was thinking now that we have understood our relationship with God, God as our parent who gives us so much, God as a mother truly, because today is Mother's Day. So should we not have a moment of gratitude, of expressing gratitude for that Supreme Mother?
Sure.
Yeah. So do you want to take us through a little bit of an experience? We'll do a little meditation experience. We'll dim the light for all of us. We'll play some gentle music, and then we together can express gratitude to our spiritual mother.
Sure. So let's use the third eye of understanding very gently. Bring your attention to the center of your forehead and remind yourself that I am a spiritual being, a being of light. Light that is sparkling like a star. And this is who I am. With this understanding that I am a being of light. Gently draw your attention upwards. To connect to that beautiful energy, that divine energy, that divine mother, who constantly supports me, that divine mother educates me, tells me about the truth. Truth that I am a soul. The Divine Mother gives me the divine intellect, the third eye. So think about all the things that He is giving to you, the soul. And from your heart, express your gratitude. Towards this beautiful energy, the ocean of love, the ocean of light, the ocean of purity. Take this moment to open your heart and fully express yourself. To God, your feelings, how you feel so grateful to be a child. How fortunate I am to have God as my mother, to recognize God as my mother. Express your gratitude to this mother for everything that you have been given. With this understanding, that nothing belongs to me. I came with nothing, but I have been given everything by you, God, Mother. So have this beautiful, loving conversation with Divine Mother. And as you express your gratefulness to her, you current of love flowing towards you. Just take this moment to absorb this unconditional love. That empowers the soul. Fills the soul with energy. Recharges the soul. Enlightens the soul. Shanti.
There were so many beautiful things you said during the meditation that maybe we could explore a few of these, and one of which was you had mentioned that God as the ultimate educator, right, educates us. And I was thinking as you were doing the commentary that education liberates us in a way. It's a very liberating experience to be educated itself, right? It liberates us from bondage, it liberates us from hard labor. Because if you don't go through education, then you have to do manual labor more, right? So God's education, how it liberates us from labor. Was something
Such a beautiful thing that we can explore is that, like I said before, the first education that we get is about who we are. And the next one, the next lesson that we understand is who God is. Just like I, the soul, am a point of light, God also is a point of light. Just like a baby child resembles, the features of the child resemble that of parents. Similarly, we also resemble God. And it is said that God creates us in His own image. So we all are like God. But
replicas of God, mini gods,
yeah,
master gods.
originally we were like that. But if we look at this point, we can say what is our condition now.
We can reconfigure ourselves.
Yeah, but there is hope. Mother. One of the things that mother gives to the child is mother is always hopeful. Yes, my child will definitely do well. If not now, maybe later. But she has a lot of hope. So God also has a lot of hope for us. That my children, when I initially created them, they were so pure, they were so divine, just like me. But then, over a period of time,
We lost our innocence,
yeah,
lost our purity, lost our divinity.
right.
And so, but
They become defective.
yeah, but we have. So one of the points of education that God gives us is that we can reconfigure ourselves back to that original state of consciousness,
Definitely.
where the suffering that we are experiencing right now is because of our forgetting our true self, our true nature, and also forgetting the connection with God, from whom we can constantly receive all the powers that we need.
Yeah, like I said, God gives us light, might, and divine insight.
Yeah.
So He gives us the light of knowledge. At the same time, He gives us the power to retain that knowledge.
Mm.
And then He also gives us this divine insight so that we can chart that knowledge.
Sure. Yeah, so all those things will help us return to that original state where we'll
Yes.
be free from all pain and
Right.
suffering.
He actually provides the whole package.
Yeah,
It comes with the whole package.
yeah. So that was what was coming in my mind. I thought we'd talk a little bit about that. The other thing I was thinking about God is the ultimate healing energy, and we all over.
Yeah, even before that, I would like to say that one of the things that God teaches us is about what we see in the world, and we say that it's the drama that we see, right? So
The drama of life.
drama of life, even this word ma comes in drama. Ma means mother. So drama is also, in a way, we can say that it teaches us so many things. It's also our mother. So learning from the situations, but not getting too much affected by whatever situation we are in. So one of the lessons that we learn about this drama is that everything that happens in this world drama, there is some or the other benefit in that. So instead of getting upset of what has happened to me, why, what, all those questions that keep coming in our minds and makes our mind kind of polluted, because of the waste thoughts. The understanding that we get is everything is beneficial in this world drama. We just have to focus on the solution. What can I do in this situation instead of getting too much influenced by the problem? So become solution focused instead of becoming problem focused. So that is another important lesson that we learn from that Divine Mother.
Yeah, so lot to learn, right? And so shall we move to that healing thing?
Yeah, sure.
Because the world out there is still reeling in lot of scars and inner traumas, mental, psychological, even physical traumas, because even small physical traumas then translate into psychological stresses. And I was thinking of the love of God, Mother's love, it's ultimate Mother, right? And so how that can be a healing experience for us too.
It is said that love is transformational. Love can transform even
A stone
a
into
stone into water, right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
Stone into water. Love is so powerful.
melt the hardest stone, to say.
Yeah.
Right? God's
Can
love can melt the hardest stone.
Right.
There's actually a song, right, with these
Yeah.
lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the quality of that love is very different. It's
Yeah.
a spiritual love. It's nothing to do with the physical love.
It's pure love.
It's pure love.
Selfless love. Yeah?
Right. And that quality you won't get from anyone, only from God. So that's why, this divine connection is so important.
Because people go to psychologists, people go to psychiatrists, people go
Mm-hmm.
to friends, people go to therapists, people go everywhere.
But people also like quality, They say that I want the quality thing, but they don't know that the quality love they will get only from God,
Yeah.
right?
So in a way, people are still struggling, trying to find where they can get some therapy, if you will, that will take care of their healing, right? And we know from science point of view how if we don't heal these scars keep on increasing in magnitude and eventually consume us.
Yeah, and even before we think about God's love, we have to actually say to ourselves that I am love. Maybe we can ask this question to ourselves: do I really love ourselves?
Do we love ourselves? Yeah.
Do we love ourselves?
But that too is an experience that comes when we connect to God.
Yeah,
Because God teaches us how to love ourselves.
right, that's true. But the thing is that first we need to remember that I am love.
Mhm.
Unless I remember that I am love, I won't be able to connect to that inner source of love.
So on one hand, we see God as the ultimate reservoir, the ocean of love, and so that realization comes, I'm a replica of God, I'm a mini God, sort of, so mini, form of God, so I am love too,
Right,
right?
that's true.
And so when we hold ourselves in that experience of love, then it kind of makes it easier also to reconnect with God, because then the loop gets kind of closed, right? God teaching us how to love ourselves, we experiencing the true consciousness, true understanding of love that we are,
And then we use that to connect to God again.
and
So it's
create a bridge.
right. Yeah, that's true.
And in this process, the healing happens.
Yeah.
So there is hope for those who always feel that.
And yeah, we can use that love to heal every part of our body, especially those nowadays knee pain is so common,
Yeah.
right?
Everybody is getting a knee replacement now.
Right.
Yeah.
But if we give, knee lot
Or
of
any
love,
other problem,
or
say
yeah, back pain, knee pain, whatever, whatever type of pain you have, just connect to that source of love and start giving love to that particular joint or whatever, wherever you feel pain, and a lot of healing can happen.
actually they're using in medicine now, right? This whole thing about guided imagery where
Yeah.
say if somebody has cancer, somebody has some medical problem, they're using this connection with some divine,
Yeah,
which they are
divine
not
light.
really sure of though,
Mhm.
but they're trying to connect to the divine energy, allow that energy to flow and use that energy to heal themselves.
Right. Lot of research, researchers actually they are doing this experiment, and it's very successful.
Yeah. So there's good news right there that you can heal yourself. And sometimes you may be able to save yourself from those expensive surgeries and doctor's bills.
And this is free consultant
Yeah.
consultancy, right?
Yeah.
You can go anytime and you can receive this therapy without paying anything and without thinking about
No needle sticks.
appointment and
No needle sticks.
sticks, nothing,
Yeah.
no Bronx,
Yeah. Yeah. No surgeries,
no
right?
surgeries.
No pain. No pain medicines.
Mhm.
So that's what I was thinking. But now I was thinking that we could move into this whole understanding that how can we truly become replicas of God in a way that become mini mothers, each one of us. And sometimes we think as men, so there's this yin and yang thing I was thinking of, that there is a mother in each of us and there's a father in each woman as well. You see, when we talk about Father's Day, we only think about men, and we think Mother's Day, we think about women. And when we and mothers too, we think of those who really have born children are the true mothers, and we think fathers are those who have born children again are the true fathers. But even somebody young can be a mother or a father, truly, for
Yeah.
yourself too,
Right.
one thing, and then for the larger good of humanity.
Right, so there is both masculine and feminine energy in each one of us. That's why we say that soul is genderless. There is no gender,
Yeah,
but there are both the qualities of masculine and feminine. But it's that the qualities are more the qualities that we see in mothers. In the feminine qualities, they are predominating in mothers, in the costume, that
it's
female costume.
because that has been kind of trained in a way, right from the beginning.
Yeah, it is
And then they
possible.
told you're a
Right.
woman, you're a woman, you're a girl, woman,
Yeah.
mother, you're a man, you're
So
a
they-
boy, man, father, and
So
so
it's
then
about conditioning, how you are
Conditioning.
conditioned right from the beginning.
so you're a father, you've got to be strong, you have to be
Mhm.
this, and mother, you have to be soft, you have to
Yeah.
be gentle, you have to be kind. But how we can bring these two together in each one of us and see ourselves truly as mothers. So all of you, those who are men, do you see yourself as mothers sometimes?
Some part of the role we play.
Yeah. Why just some? Why
what-
not all?
Why not all?
Why can't be 100% mother and 100% father at the same
Well,
time?
it's a lack of time.
So yeah, good. But if I was just
Well, if
thinking,
I want to cook, but I don't have time if I'm working.
That's a good excuse.
Well, I cook now.
I was thinking that one of the most beautiful things that happen when you step away from the physical dimension of our existence to the spiritual one is that the spiritual dimension is timeless. There is no time in it. Here there's time, and so because of that there are deadlines and there's this constant striving for having more and more time. And here the time just suddenly expands to infinity. You have all the time in the world. So the more we stay in body consciousness, if you will, the physical dimension, more we are struggling for time. The more we step into this, there's no struggle. Time just evolves gets created right here for us. It's such an interesting thing. There's no day, no night in that spiritual existence. I, the soul, there's no hour, no minute, no second. In 1 second we can achieve
Because
things.
soul is metaphysical, it's beyond physical.
And there's nothing physical, so no distance.
No physicality, it's
Yeah.
spirituality.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no distance, no time, no limits of any sort. We can-
Dimensionless, right?
Dimensionless, and we can achieve everything that we want. But in a way, truly thinking, for a moment I just thought that we as the men part of the audience could, for a little bit, emerge, if you will, the motherhood. Not just, so first let's do it for ourselves. And also the mothers, I see many are sitting aside, but so the mothers constantly are all thinking about others and their children and their children's children, and always, you talk about it, right, selflessly. But for a little bit, mothers could think about themselves and be your own mother. Have you thought of that before? Being your own mother? Of course, yeah. What about you? Have you ever thought being your own mother?
Like take care of myself.
Like a mother would?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. This is what we have to do. And you think as well, a little bit. I'm my own mother. So how would a mother, in a way, dissociate yourself from yourself? See you as a mother over yourself, and how a mother would love you. I see this. Why? You thinking? You have a question? So you as the mother of yourself. And so how would a mother take care of you? You can give that constantly. Because that mother may not be physically with you. That mother may not be constantly be able to serve you the way she served at that moment when you were really in need. But right now too we could be in need. And how can I give myself that self-care?
Yeah. So becoming a mother of your own mind, that's...
A mind, huh?
That's
We can break it down, the self
Yeah.
into the mind, the intellect, and our
sense organs.
sense organs. Yeah,
So one of the things that the founder of this organization he used to do was every night before he would go to bed, he would hold a cord and he would talk to all the sense organs. Oh my eyes, what did you see throughout the day? Oh my ears, what did you hear throughout the day? Oh my tongue, how did you
you
speak?
bite too much?
Right? So this is like giving time to yourself, to your sense organs. Instead of blaming the mind, my mind is like a monkey, my mind is like a horse. We keep blaming our mind, but do we really spend time with our mind? And
My mouth is like the tail of a dog. Constantly stays shaking.
constantly wagging. Right? So
You like analogies of a dog, I know very well, right? Any analogy of a dog and I see your face like
because she is actually really very,
Very
caring, very
caring
caring.
about dogs.
Right?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that love, the true love for the self. Because normally in the world out there, whenever you talk about love for the self, it has a very selfish connotation that I'm thinking about myself and not thinking about others. But the true understanding that we get as you start practicing spirituality is unless you care about the self, unless you truly love yourself, you're like a mother would,
Yeah.
that selflessly serving yourself,
Right.
then you really can't serve others. You really truly can't love others.
That's true. And for that, in order to forge that relationship with the self, you need to spend some time every day. Because that loving relationship will develop only when you spend time.
Courtship with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, taking yourself out for a date.
So important.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else that you think of? And that's why I was thinking that from the self, then we can take us to. I think this is. Let me put this on to power. If you could talk about now caring about the world out there, how we can become a mother of others, mother of nature, mother of everyone around us.
Really speaking, when we talk about mothers, mothers are servers, right? They serve everyone, they care for everyone. So first is that I need to have that much stock to serve, right? If I myself am lacking love, how am I going to give it to others, right? So first my stock has to be enough so that I can serve, I can distribute it to others, right? So in order to make myself full, I need to fill my stock by connecting with that divine energy. I should be full to that extent that my energy of love begins to overflow. And once it starts to overflow, then I don't really have to do anything. It will just spread outside world. Right? This is how I can serve. We can create that kind of loving atmosphere, pure atmosphere, powerful atmosphere. But our mind has to be that strong. Only when our mind is strong, I'll be able to serve the world. If I myself am shaking, unstable, not able to receive that light, because if I am always shaking, think about it. If you are charging, if you want to charge your cell phone, but if the connection, the wire is constantly moving, it won't be charged, right? Similarly, if I
I like the other example. If somebody's trying to pour coffee into your cup or mug,
right.
and
it's shaking, then it will spill.
They won't be able to
fill the cup. Yeah. So similarly, very important. Even before I think of serving the world, I need to see my state of mind.
Bring more stability into this.
Yeah. If my state of mind is not stable, I won't be able to serve. So that's why it is said that you have to take care of yourself before you serve others. And that example that we always talk about, in plane, when you are sitting and there is lack of oxygen, and then before you help the child, you have to put on the mask before you help the child. Because if you are trying to help the child, you yourself will get suffocated and you will die. You won't be able to live, right?
Or help anybody else. You'll
Exactly.
be of no use to others.
Right.
So if I don't connect to God as who's the ultimate mother, I won't be full, then I won't be able to serve. But I was thinking also that if we take this further and truly try to, since it's almost 6:23, thinking that we can do a meditation experience, we can, before that even we can ask people if they have any questions, but thinking that we could end with that experience of how we hold ourselves truly as mothers for the world around us. Not just for our limited spaces, our children, for mothers, everything is really their own children, right? And anything other than their children then becomes their children, somebody else's children. But how can we see the whole world as mine, the whole world as one family? What is that statement that they say in Sanskrit, that Vasudev
Kutumbakam.
Kutumbam, something like that, right?
Yeah.
That
The whole world is one family.
One family and
family.
my family.
One world, one family.
One world family, and where I am the mother for everyone around me, not just my own family, but really this whole world.
And the best example best role model actually that we can see is the chief of Brahma Kumaris, Dadi Janki. She
So
is
first would be God himself, right?
Yeah.
This point of light sort of. So he is the ultimate server.
Right.
Then we saw the role model of the founder of the organization, Brahma Baba. Then this one here,
Yeah.
right? Madeshwari was the ultimate role model as well. You know, how she lived her life and how she served all the people who met her, right? And it's so interesting. It's just something
Is
to.
it on?
I have it here.
Okay.
It's so interesting that actually when she and her mother both started this meditation practice and connecting to God, and she really got into it so deeply and became so mature that her own mother started calling her mother.
Mama
Oh.
Do you know that?
started calling her
Everybody, the people who were 3 times older than her, people who were 70, 80 years old and she was 30 years old, 70, 80 years old people would call her mama, a mother. And really her own mother started calling her mother because she had uplifted herself to the extent, and in that it really stabilized herself in the consciousness that I am a mother for the entire universe.
So your action determines, you know, what you do, your
Your
energy.
destiny, your
yeah.
destiny eventually.
Destiny.
So do you feel?
And even before that, you know, the Dadi Janki, she is
Yeah, sir.
103 years old now, and she is actually the mother. She was, when she came to this organization, initially, you know, she served everyone. She was like a nurse, you know, she was nursing. Physically also she was helping everyone, and spiritually also she would empower everyone. She would not eat anything, you know, in the morning unless she had at least served one soul.
Mhm.
That was his quality, her
That was-
quality. You know,
Yeah.
every single day before she would take anything, you know, before breakfast, she would go and serve.
That's interesting because for us the first thing we see is food, right? Before we do anything, let's first fill ourselves, eat as much as we can,
Yeah.
and
Food or tea or whatever.
coffee. And, yeah, but yeah, so that was one thought that was coming in my mind, that how can we truly. So what do you think? Do you all feel inspired after this to be a mother for the world? Not just for yourself, yeah, that is the first step. Mother for your own family, of course, truly selflessly serving them, which I'm sure you are. But then looking at the whole world as my family, my children, and serving them as their mother. You know, how about we also talk about, just a moment, talk about being a mother to God. I know that's a concept which is not that easy to fathom, right? But maybe we can touch upon that
Yeah,
and see if
that's interesting.
God doesn't
Yeah.
need mother.
But
But it-
still, we can be mother of God.
So love mother and with that, love Baba, love,
Mhm.
we call him Baba. Baba is, because that creates that feeling of love, you know,
Mhm.
and Baba means father, but
Right.
really then connecting to that energy as if we are mother and that's
God
child.
is our child, and
So
we are
just
mothers.
like a mother would spend so much time taking care of what the child needs, right? That's what we do, right? As mothers, you're constantly thinking about what my child wants to eat, what my child wants to wear, what my child wants to do. Constantly thinking about that. Agreed? So similarly, if I think of me as the mother of God, then I'll be constantly thinking about what does God want?
Yeah. And also, what does God like?
What does God like?
God wants to see everyone happy and peaceful and
And God
lovely.
also wants me to see me serving others.
Exactly, yeah.
God doesn't want me to stay just consumed by my own problems and
Mhm.
just me.
Right.
Right? God wants me to serve His children. So I'll be careful about doing that.
Mhm.
Right?
In that way, it will be easy for me to see everyone as my child, because God is seeing everyone as our child.
His
Right.
child, her
His
child,
child, her
yeah.
child, whatever.
Yeah, however you want to look at it. All right, so I guess we are getting close. We don't want to go too long because we have this
Yeah, I
nice
know.
cake for everyone, and
Right,
then
a
there
lot
is
of things are going to happen. But even before we end, maybe we can also express our gratitude to Mother Nature, who's serving us so much
yeah.
on a regular basis. We cannot survive without Mother Nature.
So all those
Right.
things that we've gotten,
Yeah.
the food on our plate, it's Mother Nature serving us too. So gratitude for Mother Nature. So gratitude for the self, gratitude for God, gratitude for Mother Nature, gratitude seeing drama as
Drama.
mother.
And
Right.
gratitude to all the difficult situations that you
Encounter,
encounter.
which will teach us something.
Right.
Gratitude for each other. Right.
Mhm.
And,
So, can I know?
yeah. If anybody has any thoughts, any questions, any insights, anything that you want to share, you can actually take this here. It's the Parimal Wellness. Thank you, brother.
Om Shanti, that was a wonderful session. Thank you, brother and sister. As you were going through the replica and the configuration and all that, and I was thinking, how can I accurately reconfigure myself so I won't have a chromosomal abnormality? And that is a turning point that I'm going to take away. And in Hindi it says Vidhi se Siddhi. So how can I accurately do the job that God wants me to do? Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's a lovely point that you shared. Anything else anybody wants to say? Please feel free. Yeah, Raghubai. You both are really looking like twins.
Glad to hear that. So I had two questions. I don't know to what extent it would fit to the time, but one possibility is that I see a role of a mother unparalleled, where I kind of cannot believe myself playing a role of mother for myself. However, I can, inspiring by her actions and following her as a model, I can do it for others. So when you were trying to explain how to be mother for yourself, that kinds of questions me because of the experiences that I hold with her mother, right? And it kind of feels that I cannot match that role. And that's my first part of the question. Second was when you were sharing about the healing process. Who would know better than you both that healing requires identification of the root cause, right? And so that is something as when you see healing, the God as a healer, you know that he's the right person to pick the point, which you yourself don't know what scars you hold.
Yeah.
Right, so when you were talking about, giving healing process to the disease that I have, maybe pain, but what about those ailments which I am not even aware of?
Yeah.
So that's the second part of the question that left, and I'll be carrying forward on it. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing, both of you.
No, that's good. They're lovely questions, but it's good that this is a new thing really to understand that. Yeah, thank you, dear brother. That being a mother for the self and the way our mothers have taken care of and have taken care of us, and they can't be available all the time, and it's very possible for some people. I just want to share this, that for some people the role of mother has not been that nice. Sometimes the role of mother and a child for some people has been painful, right? Yes or no? For some people, especially in the West, they are not able to really come to terms with their own mother as a healing energy, as a selfless, caring energy. Is that making sense? Sometimes. But I know, again, mothers also are human beings in a way, right? Who themselves sometimes are disconnected from the truth, disconnected from themselves, disconnected from God, and therefore sometimes execute motherhood in a very clumsy way. So even those scars that we hold, we can become our own mother and heal ourselves of those scars, right? Because there is that vacuum that we hold within us sometimes of, I wish I had more motherly love, or somebody's mother passed away very early in their life, and so there is this feeling of deprivation which you can mother yourself, you know, to healing. Right? Is that making sense? That's one thing I was thinking. And of course, there are so many scars that we hold within us, and so many issues, so many things going on within us, that we are often not aware of ourselves. And so God is the ultimate healer or ultimate doctor, ultimate surgeon. So many times we as patients don't know what's the problem. And I can tell you as a doctor myself, patient walks in sometimes as they're walking in, you know what's the diagnosis. And you can tell, oh really, how do you must be a magician. No, it's not a big deal. You know it, right? The way they're sitting, the way they're standing, the way they're looking, you know the diagnosis right away. And
you are very good at that.
yeah, but so what happens is God, when we visit God, and like normally what happens is, if for people who don't go to a doctor, they will never know the diagnosis. So visiting doctor is important too. That's why they talk about preventive and going for annual checkups and so on and so forth. Similarly, if I don't go regularly to God as who is the ultimate doctor, ultimate surgeon, He won't be able to diagnose my problems and will not be able to suggest remedies for me, right? And then I'll be holding on to that problem. It will become bigger, the tumor will become bigger and bigger and bigger, cancer or whatever it is.
Yeah, so if I connect to God on a regular basis every day, then I'll get the messages, what I need to do. I'll come to know that yes, I have to go to this doctor to get my diagnosis.
Yeah.
So you will get to the right place if you are connected.
I have seen that not even that, but that of course, but also what to eat, what not to, when to sleep.
Yeah.
It just becomes so clear, the connection.
Just like mother guides the child, you should eat this, you should sleep at this time, you should study at this time. So we get that constant guidance when we are connected to God.
And that's the reason we should connect on a regular basis, on a daily basis.
To get that guidance, to get the directions. Otherwise we will be wandering here and there and we won't be able to make right decisions.
Yeah.
It helps us to decide what to do, what not to do. Nowadays people have big time, deciding even simple things, not able to decide. Because the intellect is not clear, it's all clouded with so many things going on in the world. But if I keep my intellect connected to one divine energy, then I'll have the constant direction and it will be very easy for me to decide right away and not take a long time to decide this or that. This is it.
Yeah.
I need to do this. You will be very confident in making the decisions.
True. Yeah. Does that kind of answer some of it? But these are good thoughts to hold on to, explore, and then come up with your own answers as time goes on. Anything
And
else?
you will feel God's help coming to you. Right?
Yeah, healing.
Yeah, you feel.
Debbie has something. Debbie,
Yes,
yes.
Debbie.
I just want to say, it gives me
I'll repeat the question. It's okay, you say, I'll repeat the question.
it gives me a lot of hope having spent part of today with the BK children.
Uh-huh.
Having come out of 15 years in the public schools, these children are truly giving souls, and there wasn't a hint of sarcasm, and that's extraordinary for middle school.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
so worried about who they are. And these children were open hearts. It was really wonderful. It was good for me too.
You want to, the children, they want to, where are the children?
Yeah, they should come and they should show what they did.
have.
So yeah, that's good. Let me repeat what Debbie said. I think what you
I don't know if they finished.
No, it's
No,
okay.
I think
Whatever
they finished
they
it.
finished it. I saw they very beautifully have painted things there. And so I want to share what Debbie just said. I wish she had the mic so that it could have been recorded in there too. But she was sharing that she was 15 years teaching children in schools and public schools, private schools, wherever. But when she had this experience of sitting and playing with BK children, then the experience was totally different. Their attitude, the way they behave, no sarcasm and so much of love, open-heartedness. That's what happens, Many times parents they try to teach children and they feel that it's not really working, but somewhere it rubs off. I've seen that, slow, gentle children. It's okay, you're doing great. You're doing great.
All
So-
5 boys there.
And I wish there were a couple of girls in the group, so you can have really quiet in the town. And all boys. So they have Debbie, why don't you come up and share what was the exercise that you told them to do? And maybe you can bring that placard that you had, and you can
Yeah, please.
and show what you wrote on that, and then
You can ask the children also to come with their whatever they
and then you take the mic and share. As a gift to mothers, their own mothers and other mothers. Yeah.
It's a gift to mother to listen about the children from somebody else.
Yeah, see. Okay. It is working. It's working.
Yeah, so we kind of are sure of whatever we are doing is working.
Yeah, it is. It has to. Just like when you put clothes into washing machine and one cloth in there is loose with the color, it loses color. All the clothes get tainted with that color. Similarly, you give out energy all the time, positive or negative, right? We do that all the time. Our thoughts create energy as an aura around us, and that influences people. And children are really very clean slates, if you will, pure energies, truly, and untarnished by the world out there. So they very quickly absorb our energy. So if you shout and scream and be negative in front of children, they take it very quickly. And if you are kind and loving to them and around them, then they take that too. Come. We're talking to you. Yeah. Come. First you, Debbie, you come. Come, children. Come, boys.
This is the first children's class we had today, starting from today,
Yeah, right?
right?
Yeah. Everybody has been asking us for kids children classes. There's Brother Redappa on this too, and
Yeah.
he's been asking. So maybe come this side so that he can see too. Yeah. The battery power is only 2% here.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what happened to that computer? It's not working.
Computer is.
Want my phone? No, I charged that.
Please.
We're hiding Come on.
So first you tell what was the exercise you gave them before that. Take the mic.
Take the mic.
Yeah.
Our goal was to, well, first of all, we talked about what did they see their mothers, when they thought of their mothers, what was the single virtue of their mothers that stood out to them? And we talked it through and they narrowed it down to one word for each mother. And then we said, okay, what color is that? And they experimented a bit with watercolor. And then we said, what do you see in your mind that could represent that? And then they flipped through magazines, and thank you, Mary Lou, for bringing magazines. They flipped through magazines until they found pictures that represented, that was a visualization of their mother's virtue. And so some of these are not finished, but they will be. Do you want to show them? So what was the word that, to your mother, what was the word that you were thinking of? Caring. Caring. So you chose what colors to show caring?
I showed
They
teal,
can't see. Yeah, there you go.
red, purple, and blue.
And light colors. And what's in the pictures?
It's like a mountain fall. and
Keep
the
mic
family
close.
at the beach.
A day at the beach. What was your word again?
Caring.
Caring. Okay. Okay. So you want to hold it up so Mom can see it?
Show us, please.
Show us.
Show us,
Oh.
No, that's, oh, love you, Mom. Very good.
Okay, come on. So
You can say, no? You can describe your, whatever you have drawn.
Okay, so my word that I chose for my mother was open-minded, and so I picked the colors orange and blue, and I picked like a beach with like an ocean, to like kind of represent that she's like open, because an ocean is very vast.
very common.
Maybe you taught them how to use colors, like actual colors. You taught them all that. Or they,
Yeah.
very nice.
Those were such great choices for your colors. Very calm.
All right.
So for purple, I chose royal, and for blue, I chose serene. And then
So in other words, the other way around. For serene, you chose
blue.
blue,
And
and
for royal, I picked purple.
perfect.
And then, so the picture shows like a sky, and it has blue and a little bit purple in it. So yeah.
So what was the question? What is that you're showing about your mom?
I'm showing
What
that,
quality of your mom?
royal and serene.
Oh, that's your kid, right? No, you're sorry.
Okay. I'm not done yet. I didn't even put a picture on there.
That's also your son?
No, I'm
okay.
He came late, so that's
yeah,
why he
I
joined.
didn't really have time. I chose blue and like purple because she's calm. That's all.
Who told you that blue means calm?
I just kind of like assume. I guess I don't know.
That's beautiful. Actually, blue means peace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, blue signifies peace.
Oh.
How young are you?
I'm 15.
Wow, wonderful. All right, wonderful. Congratulations.
I chose yellow and orange and red to do cheerful.
Good.
Can you see what's in the picture?
Flowers and a peacock.
And what's the peacock stand for?
Loyalty and cheerfulness.
Cheerfulness, huh?
Royalty.
Royalty.
Cheerfulness.
Beautiful. All are done? Yes. Yeah. So now you all have to sing a song.
Oh.
That's okay. But wonderful. We all had the joy, real joy, seeing all your paintings. Thank you for sharing these with us. If you could, yeah. All right. Thank you. Go play now.
There you go.
Thank you, Debbie. It was really nice. And there is so much of.
And stay for cake cutting.
Oh wait, don't run away. Just sit quietly somewhere. Don't make any noise. We have a little bit of meditation, and then there's going to be cake cutting. You're going to enjoy the cake, right? Okay. And truly, we learn so much when we are in the company of kids, right? It's so beautiful. Good. All right. So, any other thoughts before we go on to the meditation experience? Where is Neha?
She couldn't come because the baby, my grandson, he was, not
Yeah.
letting her go.
It's okay. All right. Anybody else? Mary Lou, anything you want to say?
Kids are wonderful.
Yeah.
They're really, and they're so innocent.
So innocent, yeah.
And once you gain their trust,
and their interests, they just open up like flowers.
Yeah.
They're just beautiful.
But I just was thinking about the whole session, about the understanding of God as mother, we as mothers herself. Is there any new insight that you got that you would like to share with us?
Yes.
Sure, please do.
What did you say?
Very low, you're so sweet.
What was your insight about
Today's session.
About today's session? Is there something you wanted to share about today's session?
Yeah, mothers really do play a real important role in starting your spirituality as a child.
Yeah.
Now, my mother was Catholic and I was raised Catholic. She told me she had 5 beautiful children, and none of them stayed with the Catholic religion. We're all of different faith. And that's where I get my part of my spirituality one is from my mother. She was a very devout Catholic, and when she had problems, she always went to her her rosary, which gave her a lot of comfort and peace. And the same way with me, when you've got problems or something, rather you reach for the higher power.
Yeah.
To bring you peace and joy. So
But,
mothers are the first ones to teach you that connection with God.
Yeah. And what we can do is not just connect in the moments of trouble, but we can make that relationship so beautiful that we are constantly getting guidance, and then maybe there won't be any moments of trouble at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Alright, so that's any.
And Michelle, you want to share something? Michelle always has something beautiful to share.
Your turn.
So one thing that I knew was a poem called "O Captain, My Captain," which was really about Abraham Lincoln, but there's a line that the child is the father of the man. And you can think of it as the child is the parent of the adult.
Yeah.
And so if you kind of come to Baba as a child, in that innocence, then you can be a better adult. You can grow from the child to the parent. Be your own parent that way.
Yeah, thank you. Good. That's all so beautiful. All right, so shall we go into a meditation experience? You want to take this? I think it says something like New Heart. All right, so shall we dim the lights and we go into a meditation experience so that we can hold that energy as we end the session. So let us together hold the thought that I, the soul, am a child of God, the Supreme Mother, the ultimate Mother. And so in this moment, feel the selfless love that God has for all of us. The unconditional kindness, generosity, compassion, and respect that God has. Each one of us. Allow that energy to flow into us. Allow God to mother us through our issues, our problems, and our growing pains. Just like a child that opens up to his or her mother. Today let us completely open ourselves to the love of God, the Supreme Mother. And as we open ourselves, as we open our hearts, we see God's love pouring into us. And this love is so healing. This love is so empowering. This love is so transformative. Experience the cleansing power of this love. True selfless, unconditional love that God holds in His heart for each one of us. See your heart bubbling with joy. See your mind calm as the surface of a pond. See your path lighted up so that you can see your future and your destiny absolutely clearly. As God's love fills your life. See how beautiful God's love is. He accepts each one of us the way we are. He asks for nothing, and He gives us everything. We can approach God any time of the day or night for as long as we want. In whatever way we want. That Supreme Mother is the mother of all mothers. Feel yourself under His canopy of protection. Inside His blanket of love. In His lap of comfort. Every moment that you're spending in His company is healing you from inside out. Complete, total healing. Right up to the roots of all the problems that you have ever experienced. What a beautiful experience you're having at this moment. Hold on to this. But also, in this moment, I'm sure each one of you is inspired to take up the role of a mother, just like God. And first, be your own mother. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Listen to yourself. Empower yourself. Be kind and gentle to yourself. And then next, see yourself becoming a mother of the entire universe. All the people on this earth, the 5 elements of nature, the planets, the galaxies. You are serving everything and everyone around you with selfless love, unconditional kindness, pure generosity, and most elevated respect. Just like God loves us, cares for us, and gives us all of these. You in this moment experience yourself as Master Gods, Master Supreme Mothers, as replicas of God. Om Shanti.